Today, I'll give you the introduction to Google Colab platform. Now, what is Google Colab? So, Google Colab is a cloud-based Jupyter notebook environment that offers free access to computational resources like GPUs, that is nothing but graphics processing units, and TPUs, tensor processing units. And if you see this particular point, this is a cloud-based Jupyter notebook. So Jupyter Notebook is one of the module in Anaconda software where you can work with your Python applications. That has been integrated with the Google Colab. And if you have the internet, you can directly just work out with the Google Colab. And here we are getting the extra resources for computational purposes. Like we have graphics processing units where we can work with the parallel applications. And we have TPU, that is tensor processing units, where we can work with a large set of data with large computational resources where we can work with our applications in cluster nodes. So we have CPUs, we have GPUs, we have TPUs. So CPUs for the central processing unit where we can work with the sequential as well as parallel sort of things. But apart from that, when you require more number of resources, you can go for GPUs where you can work with some graphics, animation sort of thing. And beyond that, when you want to work with more computational resources, we can go for tensor processing units. Now, along with a wide range of pre-installed libraries. Now, we work with Python in Google Colab, and we do require a lot of libraries in order to do some scientific applications. The other categories of applications for the machine learning applications, for data science modeling applications. So there are a lot of pre-installed libraries existing, so we need not again worry about the libraries. Not only that, we have the seamless integration with Google Drive. So we have a Google account, then we are getting a Google Drive where you can store all your information. Then, so we can integrate with the Google Drive, with the Google Colab, and strong collaborative features it has. So let's suppose I'm preparing some Python application in Google Colab and I want to just store that into my Google Drive. Yes, if you have the Google account, then obviously you can store into your Google Drive. Or you can share that particular Python file to some other people. So that sort of collaborative features are existing. It's particularly popular for machine learning and data science tasks, where we need to go for modeling some applications and we need to go for some analysis sort of thing. Then you can use this Google Colab platform for doing such applications. Now, what are the key features of Google Colab? We'll see one by one. Now, free access and no setup. So this has been online sort of thing. We need not again download and we need not install into our local systems. So Colab is free to use and requires no local installation. So this is completely online platform, making it accessible to anyone with a Google account. So obviously you need to have a Google account in order to work with the Google Colab. So there is no extra work where I need to download my Google Colab application and I need to install. That sort of things are not available. Can directly access through online mode. A GPU and TPU support. So users can leverage powerful graphic processing units and tensor processing units for accelerating computationally intensive tasks, especially beneficial for training deep learning models. So when you go for neural networks, when you go for the deep learning applications where a lot of computational power has been required, so your normal CPU cannot support that. So we go for GPUs, and if it is beyond that, the computational intensive applications are there when you can go for TPUs. Now, in order to just incorporate this into local system, it's very costly. Then obviously the Google Colab is been providing these features online. So we can use that particular GPU and TPUs and we can complete our task. Now, Google Drive integration, as I said before, you need to have a Google account and you can just integrate the Google account with the Google Colab so that whatever the information you want to store, you want to retrieve from the Google Drive to the Google Drive, you can do that. So Colab integrates seamlessly with Google Drive, allowing users to save and share their notebooks. That is your application, which is we call it as a notebook, Jupyter notebook, directly from the Google Drive. Now, pre-installed libraries. It comes pre-installed with popular Python libraries and frameworks like TensorFlow, reducing setup time and allowing users to focus on their work. So generally, when we go for the localized platforms, maybe like if we take Anaconda software, then obviously there are also some pre-installed libraries are existing, but again, we need to go for some other extra libraries we need to install separately by using pip. But here, the libraries are all been installed, then obviously there is no time wasted process. So there is no time for setting up the other sort of libraries. So you can directly use those libraries and complete your application. Then collaboration, users can easily share and collaborate on notebooks in real time, similar to the Google Docs. So if two or three people have been working with the application, you can just share that particular notebook what you're trying to do in real time to the other people so that they can also work it out and update the information, similar to Google Docs. Cloud storage, Colab uses your Google Drive storage quota to save your notebooks. So most of you have been aware that Google Drive is, or your Google account is holding some sort of storage by default, like 15 GB of information. So whatever you want to store into the Google Drive, from that particular quota only, the storage is going to get consumed. After the 15 GB, you need to pay some additional amount and you can increase to 100 GB sort of thing. So that everything, whatever you want to store through Google Colab applications, that will be storing to the Google Drive, and that particular storage space has been consumed from the Google account quota. Then GitHub integration, you can link your GitHub also to the Colab to push some information to the GitHub and as well as pull some coding files from the GitHub. That is also been possible. Then automatic version control. Colab provides a version history tracker similar to the Google Sheets and Docs, allowing you to track changes and revert to the previous versions. So let's say first version we have done some task and second version we have done some other tasks. So you can just check out which version, whatever the task have been done, and if you feel like okay, you need to go to the previous versions and you need to work out with that particular version, still you can work out. So it's not like strict or rigid sort of thing where I need to only work with the new sort of version. Then multiple data sources. Colab supports various data sources, including Kaggle datasets and AWS storage. So Kaggle, if you can see, it's a repository where you can just work out a lot of datasets uploaded, and you want to do some analysis, you can just connect to that particular datasets, which can be extracted from the Kaggle. Similarly, from the AWS also you can connect and you can utilize the particular data. Special library installation, you can install non-collaboratory libraries like AWS, Google Cloud Platform, SQL and MySQL databases. In order to connect to the particular libraries, we can go for the installation of non-collaborative libraries also. Okay. Then interactive controls. Colab notebooks offer interactive controls, making them suitable for teaching and learning. So whenever you want to prepare some application where you need to demonstrate to the students, so still I can use the Colab notebook in order to make that particular session very much interactive. Colab interactive data frames. Colab allows for interactive exploration of data frames. So a data frame is just like a table where you can import some data from some other data sets, or you want to export some data to some other data set, you can do that. So your data frames is also been supported by Google Colab. Executing executable code cells. You can execute individual code cells within the notebook, making it easy to test and debug code. So whenever you can see the Colab environment, so you have something called cells, and each and every individual cell can be executed individually, or you can run it all at once also. So I'll show the environment after this PPT. Then interactive code notebooks. Colab is an interactive code notebook allowing for easy modification and execution of code cells. So as I was saying, there is a cell called code cell where you can enter your code and you want to execute that, you can execute that, or you want to modify the particular code, still you can modify into the same cell and do. So it's very much interactive where without any problem you can modify the code and execute. Colab Enterprise. Google Cloud offers features like sharing notebooks and collaborative coding. So if you are two or three people or more than that have been working with some project, then obviously they want to share some codes through these notebooks, then obviously they can share the particular Jupyter notebooks and collaborate and do the tasks. Now, examples of use where we can use it. We can use like in training and deploying machine learning models, then analyzing and visualizing data. Okay, so for data analysis and for graphs generation, developing and testing the software algorithms, whatever you've been developed, teaching and learning about machine learning and data science, getting started with TensorFlow, where you can go to the deep learning applications, developing and training neural networks, experimenting with tensor processing units, where high-end computational power has been required, you can use that, and disseminating AI research and creating some tutorials. Also, you can use the Google Colab platform in order to develop your applications. Now, what Google Colab offers you? It offers to write and execute the code in Python. Document your code that supports mathematical equations can also be done. Then you can create notebooks, new notebooks you can create. That's an application, Python application, or you can upload notebooks, or you can share the notebooks. Then import notebooks from, or you can just save that particular notebooks into the Google Drive. Then import or publish notebooks from GitHub. Import external datasets from Kaggle or other repositories. Then integrate PyTorch, TensorFlow, then Keras. Then we have the OpenCV. Now, if you go with the PyTorch, it is nothing but a deep learning framework by the Facebook, and it has been used for flexible and dynamic computational graphs development. Then you go for the second one, there is a TensorFlow. Now, it's also been a deep learning framework by Google used in production and research. Then if you go for the Keras, it's a API, high-level API for building neural networks. Then we have OpenCV, open source computer vision library used for image and video processing. Now, these all things can be integrated with the Google Colab. Okay, now I will demonstrate, or I will show you how to work with the Google Cloud platform. And so you can just open the browser and you type Google Colab. Okay, and just go for search. Type Google Colab and go for search. Now you get this page, and you can have the first link, welcome to Colab. So just click this one. Now here you have this environment where it is going to open the notebook. So we have the Google Drive, you have the GitHub, or you want to upload some files, you can do that. You have the recent files, what you have been done. Now I want to open the new notebook, so you can just click this new notebook. Now this is completely online platform. You need to have your internet connectivity. Now this is the cell, start coding or generate with AI. So this is the cell block where you can enter your data. Okay, now these are the file menus where you can locate in Drive the file, or open in a playground mode, or new notebook in Drive, open notebook, upload notebook, rename, move, and so forth. So you have a lot of options here, and this is the area where you can code it. So if suppose I want to just code, I want to print some hello world. So you have a print function in Python. So I'm writing something in double quotes, the string called hello world. Okay. Now after that you have a button here. This button just to execute, run cell. Just click this, and you need to get the output. Can you see here? This is the output what you got. Hello world. Okay. Now there's only one cell. Now I want to incorporate another cell. So you have this option called code, insert code cell below. Just click this. One more cell has been done. So if I want to execute some more, suppose I want to declare some variable in Python. So I'm taking some x variable and I'm initializing to 10, and some y variable I'm initializing to 30. Okay. Then I want to print the x and y values. So I'm writing something like x in double quotes will print as it is, comma, the actual value. Again, comma, and y I need to print as it is. And you put the comma after double quotes and print the y value. Okay. Then once again you click this. Let me just increase the size. Okay, just execute this one. Now you can see x is 10 value and y. So if at all you want to modify, you can just modify like x double equal to put and again re-execute. Now can you see here you get x equal to 10 and y equal to 30. Okay. Now here you have the table of contents. So any sort of sections you want to define, you can write like new section. Okay. So here you want to write something, you can just mention that. If suppose I just double click this and here you want to mention something like variable declaration, some heading sort of thing you can put. Okay. Like this you are going to get. Now after that again you want to incorporate, just click this. Okay. Otherwise after this you want, you can just highlight this and click. So next you are going to get like this. Okay. So here you can see variables what you have declared. You have declared x and y now. You are going to get x and y1. What type? So here I'm now we need not give any type in Python. So what are the value I've been assigning? That is going to take internally its type. So I not mentioned like integer, float I have not mentioned, but when you see the variable category, it is showing integer type because 10 is an integer and 30 is an integer. Okay. So if you want to, let's suppose I'm trying to print in some normal text like new to Python programming. Okay, just execute this to be able to get this. Here you have a text option. Okay, where you want you can just put here and click. So here this is the new section text row. New to Python. Okay, so like that you can just put some heading sort of thing and you can just go on for creating some cells and you can execute the code. So you have edit option like cut, copy and paste. Then you have view option where you can see the table of contents. Then you can go put some comments. Then you want some notebook information. So like this is the email ID and so forth. Okay. Then you want to insert. From here also you can insert. Suppose my cursor is here and I want to insert code cell. Can you see? I have done. You can use either this or you can go for insert and code cell. Like section header cell, scratch, then code snippets, all you can do. Now if you want to run all these cells, you can go for run before, run focus cell, run selection. So you have a lot of options. So you can place the cursor wherever you want. Suppose I want to run this, you can just go for run cell. So it is running and going to the next cell. Okay. Run all means all will get executed from the beginning. Run before. So the wherever you're putting like cursor, no, the before one is going to execute. Okay. Then run the selected cell. I put here and run the selection. Only this particular selection is going to get. Okay, you want to interrupt the execution, you can just stop because sometimes there is an infinite loop going on. Due to some problem, you can interrupt the execution and restart the session. Okay. So you have some tools here, like command palettes. Okay. So whichever you want, you can put some, just go through and you can avoid the shortcut keys also. Can you see here? Adding a comment, you are doing like this. Add a form, you can write some shortcut keys here. Okay, then you can use. By default, there are something, but you want to go for another case, you can do that. Okay. So this is the environment where you can execute your Python applications. So if you want to download this, because what happens here is your files get deleted once you close your application. So what you can do is just go for file and you have a download option here. And here you have two things. One is .py Python, one is the interactive Python notebook. So just go for the first one, click. So this get downloaded. You can see here. that you just save, and you can go for next time you want to use the same Python notebook. You can go for file. We have an option of upload here. You can see upload notebook. You can just go to that and browse and select which notebook you want to upload, whatever you have saved. No, go to the part and upload. So it's better like whenever you do any of the application, just download it, and whenever you want to work with the same application, you upload it and do, because this online platform, your data will not get saved. Okay, so I hope I've given some inputs on Google Colab platform, and the environment also have been shown. So I hope you like this video, and if you like this video, do comment, subscribe, and share it to your friends. Thank you.